Good evening. This is Dale Lamb with Gardner Webb. Welcome to the summer session 2017 of MELS 605. You finally got to the last hurdle here. So I'll go ahead and kick off our course introduction. This is an online only course. I will be conducting optional Zoom sessions each Wednesday night, except for the week of July 4th at 7 p.m. And you can come online and participate with me, or you can watch the videos later as I will post those to YouTube. Or you can simply look at over on the left-hand side of your Blackboard menu that I have on my screen now. You can see that I have the materials that I'll be covering each of the 10 sessions. I already have them preloaded for you in a package there, so you can look at those if you would like to do it that way. So these sessions are not required, but be a good chance for you to maybe interact with me and some of the others. I have the required texts, and these do need to be bought. And let me caution you to make sure that you buy a new version of Strength-Based Leadership, or if you buy a used version, you will have to go online and buy the test, the Strength-Based test, the inventory separately. But if you buy the new book, it comes with the code in the book. It's in a little sealed envelope in the book. I don't know the cost differential. I'm guessing the book's about $20 with the code. I've heard you can pick up used ones fairly cheap, and it's like $5 to take the test. But make sure that you don't buy a used book with the expectation that you'll be able to take the test, because the code is a one-time use code for the test, and you will need to take the test because that's a required part of the discussion board for that book. Discussion boards, I have 3 to choose from each week. You only have to do one, except on 2 particular weeks there's only one in there required. Those 2 weeks, one of them is the Ranth and Conchi Strengths-Based Leadership book, where you have to post the results of the inventory or test that you take, and the other is the AP interview. But other than that, I give you an option of 3 discussion boards. So again, only one per week for the 10 weeks, not 30, one per week. 2 of those are required, and 8 of them, one is required, but you get to pick one of 3 that week. Also, if you're behind in your evidence artifact work, if you're not all the way up to just lacking PSYOP F and CAP E, you need to get in touch with your clinical coach immediately to make a plan to get caught up. I have the drop dead dates here from Dr. Neal, so that you can see when and what and where is due. You'll need to go in at some point here fairly soon. Remember, Blackboard will be available Thursday morning, May 18th at 8:30 a.m. You'll be able to go into Blackboard. First thing you need to do is do your enrollment verification activity, because this is an online-only course. And here's some other things that you might need: your Blackboard orientation modules and your support services for summer. All of these things can be found under Course Overview. I have a weekly schedule in here. Let me do a new share and go to that. Weekly schedule tells you what your topic is each week, what you are to read each week, and the choice of discussion boards is, again, you do all the reading, but then you can choose which of these 3 discussion boards that you want to do. I also have where you need to be with your evidence artifact work, your portfolio, and task stream. I'm sure all of you know that you also, by this time, should have completed the 1 round of 21 competencies in your competency folio. If you have not done that, I will cover that during my first session about how to load your competency folio, how to put competencies in there, and then later on how to then upload that competency folio over into your DRF portfolio for evaluation. It does have to be evaluated by your coach. We'll talk more about that at the first session. So you can see each week I have what you're required to do. Have your discussion boards. And you can see the choices that you have each week. And then the last week, the Conchi discussion board is required, as I said, but other than that, you get a choice. So that's what you'll be doing each week, and those are the books that you'll need. Your syllabus is here that talks about the grading policy and all the other policies. I have some in-term materials here for you. Let's look at those quickly. Get back on the resume share. Go back to my desktop. And here we are. So your intern materials, I have a site supervisor packet for your program. If you need one that has information for your site supervisor, I have the MELS handbook that you're under, the list of suggested activities that go in your internship log, timeline, where you will find open-ended competencies to put in your competency folio. I have competency folio artifacts from the 6 evidence artifacts where you'll find competency proofs or evidences from your evidence artifact work. Also have 2 video links here. One of them is creating your competency folio and how to upload proofs in that folio, and the other one is uploading a completed competency folio for evaluation. Again, I'll cover that more thoroughly in our first session together, but you can find those links there now if you need them. Again, those are under intern materials. Under task stream tools, I have examples of what your evidences completed ones should look like, your final comprehensive 6 evidences. I have old copies of my notes that were still relevant when you started the program, how to write task stream summaries and descriptors, what they look like, accomplished ones, and competency that your principal still needs to do, what those competencies are. Our assignment Dropbox, these are the assignments for this semester. All I have are your evidence artifacts. Everything else is in discussion board. You are required to complete, or if you've already done it, you upload component E of your CAP, component F of your SIOP, and then the final of those 2, the final comprehensive. A through E for the CAP, A through F for the SIOP. You put those in the Dropbox. And that's the only assignments other than the discussion boards. I don't have if you need to do peer reviews, you do that. You can do that through discussion board if you need to. But there's not a Dropbox. I don't require those as a turn in. That's just to help you. And again, I've got all the sessions here, and let's look at discussion board again quickly. If we need to, I don't think I have it. Let's see, discussion boards. If I need to, I'll create place in discussion board for you to do peer review. Oh, I already have. There it is. I thought it was there, so I already have it there for you. So if you need to do peer reviews, here's a place where you can do your peer review, where you can post your work for peer review. If it's not been peer reviewed, if you still like any of that stuff to be done at this time, I do have a place in discussion board for you to do that. So that's it. 10 weeks. I come online every Wednesday, except for the week of the 4th. 7 o'clock. I will stay on for about an hour or so, and then I will post those to YouTube and send you the link later that evening. Please remember that you get a choice. You only have to do one of the discussion boards each week. You get a choice of 3. You kind of self-directed which way you want to go, what your area of interest is. There'll be one from Hershey. There'll be one from Glickman each week. So you can kind of pick and choose what you'd like to do in terms of your discussion boards every week. I would like for you to do the AP interview if at all possible. You definitely have to read the Strength Finder book and do the test and post your results in the 10th week discussion board. I think that's pretty much it. We'll talk more about competency folio and maybe some ins and outs or some questions that you have. If you have questions, don't hesitate to email me or call me. If you have multiple questions that require me to make decision answers, and then go from there. Like if you have a dozen questions, you might want to call me. And so again, on the course overview page, you have, that's my real cell phone number. You can get me anytime. There are my 2 email addresses. There are the dates that I'm going to be conducting Zoom sessions. There are the required text. Again, it's Glickman and Hershey are the 2 main ones, and then the Rath and Conchi book for the last one. Here are your drop dead dates for completion. Here is your enrollment verification activity. So you can get started anytime after 8:30 in the morning. I will see you next Wednesday. I guess that's what, the 24th? A week from tonight. I will see you at 7 o'clock. Everybody have a good week. Thank you.